How are you guys doing? This is Justin from the Tree of Woe Show. Behind me, you see the hopeful Royal Rumble main event. Da, da. Anyways, this is the Monday Night Raw review for December 3rd, 2012. I cannot believe we are in December. My goodness, time is rolling. But the show actually does start off with a tag team match. Team Hell No versus the Primetime Players. You know, this match was okay. Nothing too special. I like Team Hell No when they're talking. When they wrestle, it's like whatever. Like it's cool and all, but whatever. And I like the PTP, but we need AW back. Damn it. But this match, the Shield was actually up. You could see them right over there. You could see them up. I guess like right below the suite level, like the very top of the lower bowl. And they were just watching. And all of a sudden, there was all three of them. Then it was just Ambrose, so they split up apparently. And they ended up coming back. And after the match, Team Hell No gets the win, and then the Shield attacks them, beats them down, and then they leave. So you're like, okay, what was the injustice in this match? The Shield's just attacking everybody now. But I like seeing the Shield, so it was just fine with me. Then we get Cena, Sheamus backstage. They're talking because they're partners later at the 1 hour main event, and they were just like, yeah, we love wrestling. We are good guys. Nothing really eventful here, just them preparing for their brutal match. Then we get AJ versus Tamina. AJ surprisingly gets the win here. She rolls her up 1, 2, 3, and Tamina. It was a good way because Tamina's supposed to be this really strong, diva, and she just got rolled up. She got rolled up on. It's not like she got overpowered. She just wasn't thinking for a second. So I was fine with that. AJ can win all of the matches. I'm just trying to see AJ versus Eve. Please. Then we have CM Punk and Paul Heyman. They're out there talking and basically how they're going to pass, or CM Punk's going to pass Cena in the next couple days and be like the longest reign of the modern era, some 25 years. And they go at that for a while, and Punk's just talking about he still gets no respect. And this was a good promo. He talked for a while. I'm trying to think if there was any other main. Basically, how it's ridiculous that he has to fight Ryback again because he's already beat him at 2 straight pay-per-views, which is true. I think that was, I can't think of anything else other than, then the Miz comes out, and Miz is like, listen, I don't want to fight you. I just want you to be on Miz TV later tonight and take a lie detector to prove that you're not associated with the Shield or with Brad Maddox. More on that later. But, so CM Punk is kind of reluctant, and then finally he's like, all right, I'll do it, whatever, you idiot. I was like, ha, Sandlot, just talking crap. So he agrees to it, and then, they do whatever. And then we get that match I was talking about earlier, John Cena and Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler and The Big Show. This match was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. Back and forth, Cena actually didn't look so superior, not the entire time at least. He got knocked down bad by Big Show a couple times, like destroyed. But in the end, Cena and Sheamus end up getting the win. Cena hits the attitude adjustment on Dolph Ziggler at the same time Sheamus hits the white noise. Dolph had a funny little botch in this match that we'll discuss later that Cena brought to light, which was funny. Then we get Damian Sandow coming out. Something about, I didn't really pay attention here. Somebody was trying to find an intern, and he had a guy come in from the ring and try to stump him. And then Santino came out. They talked about seashells. Let's be honest, I was not paying attention at all. So if anything happened with Santino that was relevant, that would be a first. So I wasn't really paying attention. So like I said, if something big happened here that I forgot, then whoops. Oh, and then in the live stream, I may or may not have predicted this. They go backstage, and the Brad Maddox, is in Vicky Guerrero's office. He's like, listen, I want a contract. And she's like, okay, if you win your match tonight, you get a contract. He's like, who am I facing? She's like, you'll see. And I said, I'm marked out for the Maddox. The Maddox Fanatics. So Brad Maddox would get a match later. Find out who he would face. They put Brad Maddox against the only person that could, take my heart away from Brad Maddox. It was a sad moment. And then we get everyone's favorite. Maybe some people's favorite. Sin Cara versus hopefully no one's favorite, Alberto Del Rio. Sin Cara and Del Rio. I didn't love this match by any means, but it wasn't bad. Sin Cara hits, all his high fly moves. Sin Cara just kept hitting move after move after move after move after move. It was almost like an old school Cena match where Del Rio just got beat down for the entire match, and at the last second he catches him with an arm breaker, and Sin Cara taps out real quick. So like I said, nothing special, but it wasn't bad, if that makes sense. But Del Rio does get the win. He taps out real quick. And then it was rumored that Vince would be here tonight. He was. We get him and Vicky out in the ring, and they have their little interaction, or whatever. And he's just like, "Hey, if you're making big time matches, don't just make Cena versus Ziggler at Money in the Bank. Make it big." And she's like, "Okay, no disqualification." He's like, "Okay, the pay-per-view is called Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, not no disqualification." So then she ends up making a ladder match, and everyone's like, "Okay, cool." And then Vince is like, "But listen, we gotta go even bigger than that." So then it ends up where they make the match where it'll be Dolph Ziggler versus John Cena in a ladder match with the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. Some of us thought they would go there. Here it is. Let's see how it goes. I'm excited for it, I'll be honest, but we'll see how it goes. And then they talk about the Heyman Punk thing about how, hey, if Punk lies, he's got to be punished. And his leader, his buddy, his best friend is Paul Heyman. So if Punk is found lying, then Heyman has to fight Ryback on next week's Raw. And I said, oh, the Walrus. That's what the Miz called him a walrus earlier in the night, so they were chanting Walrus on it. And then we get the match. Oh, I was so excited. Brad Maddox, he came out. He was looking awesome. He had beef mode ready. The Brad Maddox experience on the Titantron. No music needed. But then another man's music hit, and I said, damn it, Brad Maddox. I have voices in my head. Oh, it was Randall Keith. Randy Orton versus Brad Maddox. Mark out moment for me. Randy Orton ends up getting the win because Brad Maddox was not ready. He was ready, but at the same time he was confused. He's like, man, if I beat Randy Orton already, that's not believable. So he gave Orton this one. He said, Randy, I'll put you over because I am the Maddox. And then, but after that, building more up to the whole storyline about the whole connection of everybody, the Shield comes out and attacks Randy Orton after the match. So now it's like, okay, they're helping Punk and helping Maddox and helping the primetime players. But yeah, so the Shield attacks and they do the big triple powerbomb to Orton. So the Shield is cleaning house tonight. And Brad Maddox still without a contract. Damn it, Randy. But then you go backstage, Vicky, and Dolph comes in first, and he's furious. He's like, Vicky, what the hell are you doing? Technically Charles Robinson. And Dolph's just pissed. Like, what are you doing? You're making matches. You're making my briefcase online. I already had to do it against Jericho once. It's ridiculous. He leaves. He basically says, you're becoming like AJ. Then Heyman comes in. They just have a stare down for a while. And she's like, for your sake, you better hope that Punk's telling the truth. And he leaves. And Cena comes in all hippity hoppy, like, hey, thank you. He's like, thanks, Figueroa. I never thought I'd say that. And then early in the match, the tag match, Cena did shoulder block, duck, scoop, put up his hand for the final shuffle, and Dolph popped right up. And he attitude adjusted him. So Cena made reference. He said some cool joke like, that's as ridiculous as Dolph Ziggler forgetting the 5 moves of doom today, which was hilarious because Dolph totally forgot. He was like, I'm not taking that 5-knuckle bull crap. Just give me the AA. So for Cena to say that on TV cracked me up. Dolph forgetting the 5 moves of doom. Oh, it was hilarious. But then we get to Kofi and Truth versus Cesaro and Wade Barrett. They come out. They're ready to have a tag match. And then in a startling opposite day type, swerve, Teddy Long, the inventor of the tag match, comes out and says, Liz, it saddens me to say that this tag match is canceled. We gonna make it a fatal 4-way. You could tell he was resenting doing it, but he had to do what he had to do. He cancels a tag match, which is just against the book of Teddy. Speaking of books, everyone buy the book of Maddox. Everyone, hands on their hearts, left hand up. I solemnly swear to always support thy Maddox. You can do it at home. But yeah, so they end up making it a fatal 4-way, and we got to vote Raw Active on which title would be on the line. Cesaro's U.S. title won in a landslide. This was a really good match. Cesaro ends up retaining his title, so that's cool. for a while I was like, oh crap, are they gonna have Kofi win both and like combine them, or is Wade Barrett gonna win? And then all of a sudden at TLC it's Barrett versus Kofi, both titles on the line, winner gets both. I was like, okay, even then Cesaro won, which wasn't bad, but with all the scenarios going in my head, I was like, oh crap, Cesaro won, but I'm cool with it. Cesaro, I like Cesaro. Then we get to the main event of Miz TV. Punk comes out. Punk and Miz were going at each other on the mic. They were freaking out. Like they were just talking about how. I mean, he's asking him questions like, what WrestleMania at the WrestleMania where I main evented, did you lose to Randy Orton? Did Rey Mysterio shave your head and whatever? It was funny when Punk was hooked up to the lie detector, and then he asks him, "Are you responsible for the Shield and Brad Maddox's actions or whatever?" And then right as he's about to answer, the Shield actually comes in and attacks the Miz and beats him down. Hell No comes out. Team Hell No comes out to make the save, and then Ryback, of course, comes out. So they all take one guy each. I think Ryback took Ambrose, Bryan took Rollins, and Kane took Roman Reigns. And they beat all those guys down, and they just went out everywhere. And then all of a sudden, Punk's in the ring by himself with the Miz, and he's just like, "Ask me, you want to ask me questions now? Am I lying? I'm gonna kick you in the chest." And he just kicks him out of the ring, gets up on the turnbuckle, is just flexing. And then he turns around, Ryback, shell shocked, hits him with a chair, hits him with a ladder, power bombs him through a table to end the show. I don't know, guys. We're going to see what's happening here, but we still didn't get answers on what the Shield is doing. I still am hoping the Shield is working for The Rock. They did it for The Rock. But yeah, that was Raw tonight. Let me know in the comments what you thought of tonight's show. Subscribe up above if you haven't already. Like this video. Like I said, comment below. Me and Chase Oliver started a YouTube channel called the Olive Tree Podcast, and we filmed the first episode of it. But we forgot that when you open a new channel, you can't make videos longer than 15 minutes for a certain amount of time. So episode 1 of the Olive Tree Podcast is on Chase Oliver 68's channel. If you want to hear that, it's me and him. We talk like 45 minutes, whatever. Check that out if you want. Subscribe to Olive Tree Podcast. Subscribe to me, the Tree of Woe Show, and Jake, the Tree of Woe Show. And yeah, that's all. Have a good night, everybody. Remember, the Maddox.